Shalom, Hebrew. First of all, let me apologize for this late start. Had some technical problems. Shalom. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. The I.S.U.P.K is run today by Commanding General YAHANNA, the man at the rank and the authority to be the leader of the nation of Israel at this time. The I.S.U.P.K is an organization that brings the truth of the Bible to the Israelites of the Bible, who are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians today. I want to say Yahweh Basham, Yahweh Shai Barakatam to my brothers, Yahweh Shamar, Elatan Basham, Yahweh Shai to my sisters. Welcome to our Wednesday evening law class. We delves right into the laws given to us by our prophet Moses. Given to us by Moses from that time coming out of Egypt. Okay, let's continue where we had left off. We were at Deuteronomy 30 last week. This week is Deuteronomy 31. And we are still under curfew in Jamaica. Can you believe it? Better believe it. All right, Deuteronomy 31. We're looking at Joshua now, who was one of the reincarnation of Christ. Looking at Joshua taking the leadership of the nation from Moses. Joshua was one of the great warriors of the Bible for our nation, one of our great generals. I'm talking about actual fighting with sword and killing people and taking over kingdoms. Joshua was one of the greats. Ready to read? Deuteronomy 31 verse 1. And Moses went and spake these words unto all Israel, unto all 12 tribes, who are today the black, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Or I can just say natives. Ready? Verse 2.
Deuteronomy 31 and verse 2. And he said unto them, I am 120 years old this day. I can no more go out and come in. Also the Lord hath said unto me, Thou shalt not go over this Jordan.
So Moses, wow, he lived long, 120 years old. Wouldn't that be a blessing to get to those age? Would you like to reach those age? Well, providing that I have the strength to move around, to be mobile rather than to be dependent on facing people to move me around. Right. You will reincarnate again. Continue.
Verse 3. The Lord thy God, he will go over before thee, and he will destroy these nations from before thee, and thou shalt possess them. And Joshua, he shall go over before thee, as the Lord hath said.
All right, so for our nation, the nation of Israel, the Israelites, our battle, probably everything is done on two fronts, but there is a record of all things for us, especially our battles, is done on two fronts. Spiritual front and the physical front. So this is why it says here that the Lord thy God will go over before thee. That's spiritual.
God.
So his angels, and then there was one part in the laws where it says, when he gave us the law to keep the camp clean because the angels move amongst us to deliver our enemies unto us. So in other words, if they don't do that, we don't win a fight. So the Most High has to always fight our battle on the spiritual front first, and then give us the strength to go on the physical front. Something happening in America today, I don't know if it's a result of what is to cover the spiritual level. The first year, Capitol Hill being overrun by, I don't know, what do you call them, mob, thugs, protesters. Okay, we'll call them protesters. Yeah, man. When we are protesters, you know, if it was black people protesting, you know, you think they would get a chance to get in? Madman, you say dead people like fly. One person gets shot and they brought that person to hospital. Quick, before she died. But let it be a set of blacks going to Capitol Hill to demonstrate for their rights. Now, equal rights, you get the justice and the bullet. Continue.
Verse 4. And the Lord shall go unto them as he did to Sihon and to Og, kings of the Amorites, and unto the land of them whom he destroyed. And the Lord shall give them up before your face, that he may do unto them according unto all the commandments which I have commanded you.
Right, so this is what now? The Most High is going to give you these nations that you might do unto them according to the commandments that you are commanded. Which means that what?
To slay them.
Slay them? No, slaying them is not a commandment. It's only from, you are commanded to do one thing across all the Eden. He might tell you to slay them, but that's not to slay, not to slay all Eden. What is the one thing you are commanded that we should do to all Edens? Tear down their altar and what? Burn down their groves. What else? And cast down their idols. That's the main thing that you are told to do unto Eden, not to kill them. There are times when he tell you to kill them, but you are to bring down their altar. Verse 6.
Verse 6. Be strong and of a good courage. Fear not, nor be afraid of them. For the Lord thy God, he it is that doth go with thee. He will not fail thee nor forsake thee. Verse 7. And Moses called unto Joshua, and said unto him in the sight of all Israel, Be strong and of a good courage, for thou must go with this people unto the land which the Lord hath sworn unto their fathers, to give them, and thou shalt cause them to inherit it. And the Lord, he it is that doth go before thee. He will be with thee. He will not fail thee, neither forsake thee. Fear not, neither be dismayed.
Right. So in other words, we were going in on some nation that was already established. Established in the sense that they have a kingdom, they have armies, they have weapons of war. Today we would say they have weapons of what? Mass destruction.
No.
But the Most High is telling us not to fear. Have no fear. Because God will deliver them into our hands. Continue.
Verse 9. And Moses wrote this law, and delivered it unto the priests, the sons of Levi, which bear the ark of the covenant of the Lord, and unto all the elders of Israel. And Moses commanded them, saying, At the end of every 7 years, in the solemnity of the year of release, is in the Feast of the Tabernacles, when all Israel is come to appear before the Lord thy God in the place which he shall choose. Thou shalt read this law before all Israel in their hearing.
All right, so it's in the year of release, in the Feast of Tabernacle. This is what, and it's what, 7 years?
7 years.
Every 7 years. And then you have the 50-year. What about the 50-year one again? Where all the lands go back to the original person who it was given to. What's the word again? All right, that's what we remember. Jubilee. The year of Jubilee, every 50 year. And then there is one every 7 year. What is 7 year one again? That's a release. I don't know what the 7 years one though. But there's the 7 and there is the 50 year. So I'm just telling that during that time, the laws of this book must be read or shall be read. Continue.
Verse 12, gather the people together, men and women and children, and thy stranger that is within thy gates, that they may hear and that they may learn and fear the Lord your God, and observe to do all the words of this law.
All right. So at that time, everyone must be there when it is being read. 3 times for the year, all males must come before the Lord, right? And at this time now, that the Most High is talking. At the end of every, it was there, at the end of every 7 years, in the solemnity of the year of release, at the Feast of Tabernacles. So every 7 years at the Feast of Tabernacle, you gather all men, all women, all children, any stranger that is within thy gates. And this is not talking about strangers of other nations. How you know that?
Because just like in somewhere in the scripture where Jesus said that, did Jesus know? But it was not given to save them. It's not for them to understand, not or to be preached onto.
That, you're talking about what Christ said. Well, yeah, Christ came long after this. But I understand what you're getting at. But what Christ said was referring to Israelites. It's Israelites he was talking to. The scribes and Pharisees who were Israelites. He says not given unto them because they are not with the people. That's why he said that. This one here now before Christ, where he said, where is it? The strangers. And I said to you that this is not talking about strangers of other nations. And I said, oh, you know it's not talking about strangers of other nations. Who was the law given to? Israelites. So you are gathering the people in the temple to read the law. There were some people who could come to the temple. And they were talking about other nations who could come to the temple. And there were some who could not come to the temple. Right? But this one, not so much talking about them, you know. This is not talking about them. Because for them, it's not a must for them to come. For you, it's a must. If they are amongst us, yes, they have to observe our high holy days and so on and so forth. But you must. All right. Verse 1 we just read. 12.
Concern.
Finish?
Yeah.
Or read 12 again.
Gather the people together, men and women, and children, and thy stranger that is within thy gates, that they may hear, and that they may learn, and fear the Lord your God, and observe to do all the words of this law.
Right.
Verse 13,
So
and that
the doing part is you. You must do it. Continue.
and that their children which have not known anything may hear, and learn to fear the Lord your God, as long as ye live in the land whither ye go over Jordan to possess it.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord said unto Moses, Behold, thy days approach that thou must die. Call Joshua, and present yourselves in the tabernacle of the congregation, that I may give him a charge. And Moses and Joshua went, and presented themselves in the tabernacle of the congregation.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord appeared in the tabernacle in a pillar of a cloud, and the pillar of the cloud stood over the door of the tabernacle. And the Lord said unto Moses, Behold, thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, and this people will rise up and go a whoring after the gods of the strangers of the land, whither they go to be among them, and will forsake me and break my covenant which I have made with them.
So you see, the most I know that is going to happen, you know. What they say, you're going to dead and you're going to sleep, and then we're going to go a worrying after those gods. Now it says that the Most High came down with a pillar of cloud. You understand? I say a pillar of cloud. What's a pillar of cloud?
Basically, it's like a protection that goes before it.
No, it's set a particular way when it's a pillar of cloud, you know. It's not like the pillow on the bed, flat and thing. It didn't come down like that. It's like this. The pillow, column. So then think of a column. You know column all of building? Right. Original word was pillar. So it came down in a pillar of clouds. So that is like a big column from up in the sky come down. And it come right down to the door of the tabernacle. So whatever was taking place, the rest of Israel out there couldn't see. The cloud showed what was happening.
What would it serve as protection, sir, or to bar the onlookers from knowing what is happening?
What was the bar?
Okay.
So that, remember, you know, in those days, one of the reasons why the Most High didn't expose a lot of things unto us. Us humans have a tendency to things that become impressionable in our mind, we put it in drawing. So they see an angel coming down. Somebody's going to draw it. Next thing you know, them start make statue from it. They start make painting. Next thing, that's an idolatry. Then the Most High don't want that. So he shroud these things from the people. He's not trying to keep the people in darkness or anything. It's just how our minds are simple. And you are going to do something that he doesn't want you to do. Remember, I know. That is why he doesn't show his face or his back or his hand. The scripture says, if you see God, no man see the face of the Most High and live. But he could show his hand. He showed Moses his back. So if he show all Israel his back, what do you think is going to happen? Somebody is going to put it in drawing. Yes. And next thing you know, they start bowing down to it. Just like how Christ was on the cross in front of the whole world to see. And what are they doing now? Bowing down to the cross. They are bowing down to the cross. Prior to that, there was no image in the temple that we would go and hold as sacred and bow ourselves to it. No, not even the Ark of the Covenant we don't bow before. Matter of fact, we couldn't even go near it. So the Most High hide these things, then they generally use the cloud. Right, so he said now that the Lord said unto Moses, behold, thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, and these people, and to all the smutty mind people who love homosexuality. When the scripture says Moses shall sleep with his fathers, it's not talking about nothing like that. It just simply means that he will die and bury with his family plot. Well, he never got to know family plot, but die just like the men before him, the fathers before him died. I'm gonna look for water too. And when that happens, these people shall rise up and go a whoring after the gods of the strangers of the land, whither they go to be among them, and will forsake me and break my covenant which I have made with them. Now we in the UPK, especially more seasoned brothers. All right, fine, yeah, I'm not that seasoned yet, but I know, especially more seasoned. Whoa, I just unfact this. Especially more seasoned brothers, you will find that, especially when the younger ones come in, it's like you have to be, like when you have a little child nurturing, and you nurture that child, that nurturing period is at least 15 years, Understand?
Sure.
You see, when you bring a young man into the truth or a young woman, it's the same way you have to nurture them, Bring them in like a baby. So it was the same thing with Moses, because you notice as Moses gone, them straight and went. So now that Moses was gonna die, yeah, they were going in the hands of Joshua, but at the time will come when Joshua would have died as well. So here the Most High told him that you're gonna die and you're gonna sleep with your fathers, and they are gonna go a warring after others other gods. Because after Joshua, we didn't have a leader like that. It was whomever the Most High choose to rise up at a particular time. So just like sheep that don't have shepherd, they go astray. That's always our nature. And yet still, you have the fake stupids among us who maybe sometimes I feel maybe they just want to fight against UPK, or just want to fight against Commanding General YAHANNA. But Christ is our leader. Christ is the only one that we follow. Yeah. Christ is the one that we follow. Yes, you need the word. But there is always, we are called sheep for a purpose. You can't spiritually lead a sheep. You have to be there right in front of him so that he can see you and follow. Hence, we have Commanding General YAHANNA. You can see the leader and follow. That is why he gave us Moses, he gave us Joshua, and anytime we are in captivity, he gave us a shepherd to lead us out the woods. So why would we be so blinded today? Well, maybe it's because we are asleep, but we are so blinded today that we don't see that you do need a physical leader in front of you to lead you out the woods. When Christ left, he left Peter in Jerusalem, don't? And among the Israelites that were scattered abroad, he left who? Who did he raise up for that purpose? Christ. Mm-hmm. He left Peter in Jerusalem. And then the Israelites that were scattered abroad, who did he leave for that? Paul. Remember Paul became the apostle of the? Did he say apostle of the Gentile or leader of the Gentile? How did he put it again? He's the apostle of the Gentiles. That's what he had said. That's what Paul said. Referring to the Israelites that were scattered abroad. So there's not a time that we are left without a physical leader. But no, they can't see that. Continue what he was saying to Moses.
Verse 17. Then my anger shall be kindled against them in that day, and I will forsake them, and I will hide my face from them, and they shall be devoured, and many evils and troubles shall befall them, so that they will say in that day, are not these evils come upon us because our God is not among us? Verse 18.
Well, we said that in those days when we know that we were Israelite.
Concept.
But today, now we know that we are not Israelite. What do we say? We don't even know what we say. We just say, earth running, you know. Man, if it dead to make man live.
Concept.
Because we don't even know that we are Israelites today. In those days, we knew who we were. Continue.
Verse 18. And I will surely hide my face in that day for all the evils which they shall have wrought. In that day are turned unto other gods. So, okay, sir. And I will surely hide
so
my
just
face.
like return to today. Christianity, Muslim, Hinduism, Krishna, Buddhism, Shintoism, Sikhism, you name them. That's right. Sikh, I think they're out here now. The Sikhs, you know, they are the Indians that wear the turbans, you know. We call them Sikh. And then the members are called Sikhs or Sikhed. What's a Sikhed? But funny enough, right in the time when the street talk came up here about Sikhed, Sikhism was coming in Jamaica. Yeah. And when they start talking, say, oh man, a Sikhed. Don't even realize what they're doing. All right, verse 1.
Verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
Now therefore write ye this song for you, and teach it the children of Israel. Put it in their mouths, that this song may be a witness from me against the children of Israel. Verse 20, for when I shall have brought them out, for when I shall have brought them into the land which I swear unto their fathers, that floweth with milk and honey, and they shall have eaten and filled themselves, and waxen fat, then they turn unto other gods.
Then will
they turn unto other gods, and serve them, and provoke me, and break my covenants.
Because I know we're the only nation who provoke God, you know. We're the only nation that provoke God. But you notice how we love to put things in song, things that we want to remember, happenings, things that happens, we want to put it in song. You see where it's coming from. So you see, does the white man does that? Does the white man do that? We don't know of that. Gilbert blow and they make song out of it. Courtney Walsh create history and they make song out of it. You remember my song, who are the big man in a cricket? Courtney. All right. Look at reggae music. How did reggae music came up? Reggae music came up was a revolutionary music, you know. Look at what the artist name again? One where we start listening, never knows that he was that deep. Culture. Look at culture. Slice of Mount Zion is for I. Yeah. Tell me where you get your bread, thou sluggard. Look at those songs. Things that is happening that they put into songs. No other people know this, only Israelites. Maybe other nation copy us by now and put a few things. But we from this time, we have learned to put righteous happenings among our people into song. From the time of Moses, you remember there's one in the thing, the Song of Manasseh in the Apocrypha. They wrote song unto Judith, wrote song unto other renowned persons in the scriptures. That's us. So here now, the Most High tell Moses that, therefore, write this song. So it was the Most High that gave Moses this song. And why did he do it? Why did he allow them to put it into a song?
When they sing, they speak of their remembrance.
Exactly. How easy it is to remember a song?
Very easy.
Very easy. Yeah, you remember when Vibes Cartel into the song? Remember how do you go again? But two small letters under the tree, Kissing. Picture you and me under the tree, Kissing. Every school picking know how to spell kissing, and everything that is spelled in that song. And nobody spell that in school and get it wrong, because it's easy to remember things in song. And this was a gift given unto us by the Most High. And it is probably something that our education system should have taken up. But they don't study us that way. They don't study the good quality of us. The system will know the bad qualities, you know. Oh, why if you do certain things, why you got some thieves, so I gonna need more police. Why Christmas are coming out, them want more money, you know. So you know, so I get more police. Why from August, you know, say Christmas are coming, they want money, so let me give them some job. Eh? You get me? You see it. 1 week before Christmas. And then it's not you they're thinking about. They're thinking about you know going to spend it to enjoy that one day. And after that you're broke. But they are not studying the good qualities that are within Israelites. Only the bad. That's what we do with each other too, because that's what the oppressor teach us. You see a man walk in and him look away, first thing you think. And then like him out all up the place, you know. You understand? I wonder how much of a criminal in me. Yeah, start profiling. Few persons see a strange person. I'm not talking about we in the UPK attire. We're talking about black persons in general. They see you, they don't know you. You look strong. First thing they think about, what if you life all over the place? Understand? It's not like they think. It's not like they can think and say, what if him there if you come spend some good money? Why they don't think that? Because they know the system don't give none. You think they don't know? They know. So they're not expecting you to come and spend any money. Nowadays, you're going, you want a bank account, then, where you get the money from? Because them know them don't have the system now give you no legitimate job for you to have so much money. So I must thief. That's the first thing they think of. They don't study the good qualities within us. But the Most High does. The Most High who has made us knows the good qualities. So he gave us this song so that we can remember Moses. And we can remember Egypt. And he's not allowing us to remember Egypt so that we become slaves again. Purpose of we remembering Egypt was so that we don't go back to Egypt. That's a good quality. But your oppressor would want you to remember slavery so that he can keep you in slavery. But the Most High allow you to remember slavery so that you don't go back. You understand? Continue.
Verse 21, and it shall come to pass, when many evils and troubles are befallen them, that this song shall testify against them as a witness. For it shall not be forgotten out of the mouths of their seed, for I know their imagination which they go about, even now, before I have brought them into the land which I swear.
I say, no imagination. You know what your mind going after. You know that you like the pretty and the flash and the blinky lights. That's what catch us in the big cities in England and, well, Europe and the States. The blink, the pretty and the flashy lights. And, you know, the worst thing, you're going to see that, wow, it's beautiful. The city is so pretty. Wow, this is the city I live in. And you can't get none of the pretty when you see. You can't partake in it. Just like a rat trap, eh? But we are the rats. So you're going in the city now, you're going pretty light, dry, you know, blinking light, like purple light. Hey, these cities are beautiful at night, you know. So it dry you. You go and you seek a job now, what do you get? The menial jobs that they want your people to do. Sweep the streets, clean the toilet, take care of their children while they go to work. We're running out of teachers. Okay, we'll allow you to teach. We'll allow you to police. You can join our armies, but you dare not become one of our billionaires. And that is the crux of the matter. Money empowerment. That's what the Most High gave us with the laws. Monetary empowerment. And I challenge anybody to dispute me with that because it's right there. You shall not borrow from them, but you can lend to them. That's when the Most High is blessing you. Bless you so much that you have so much money that you can lend. You don't need to borrow. Right? So, but we are so afraid of monetary blessing that we think money is evil. Money is not evil. But many of our people allow money to conquer them. Right? You leave Jamaica, you go abroad, what you send back? The evils that the money buy. So you use the money abroad and buy the evils, the guns, the this, the that, the evil things, and send it back. Why not buy the good things? You get me? You see money now. Right? So the Most High knows our imagination. He knows the things that we love to go after. And he knows that the things that we love to go after, these are the nations of them. And they are just going to use it like a trap onto you. So you see the Christmas tree Christmas tree pretty done. So you want one in your yard too.
Mhm.
And you start to keep Christmas trees in your yard. What happened to you when you start with that? The most I start turn from you. And next thing you know, you start serving the same nation that you copy to keep these things. Because they have catch you with the pretty lights. Yeah, just like I said, the States. It was a bling and catch way. But they're not giving you any bling job. And you ain't gonna be a bling billionaire over there. Yeah. If I start with money, IRS start watching. Mm-hmm. And all when you make your returns every year, they still find a way to come take away your things. I don't know, they love to do it when time you're almost old, you know. So, but it's just our imagination. It's the things that we like to go after. It's just the things that we like going after. So the most I say, I know their imagination, which they go about. Even now, before I have brought them into the land which I swear. So in other words, the most we are going after these things before we even go in the land. So now you go in the land and it's just next door to you. You are going to copy it. All right, 22.
Verse 22. Moses therefore wrote this song the same day and taught it to the children of Israel. And he gave Joshua the son of Nun a charge and said, Be strong and of good courage, for thou shalt bring the children of Israel into the land which I swear unto them, and I will be with thee. And it came to pass when Moses had made an end of writing the words of this law in a book until they were finished, that Moses commanded the Levites which bear the ark of the covenant of the Lord, saying, Take this book of the law, and put it in the side of the ark of the covenant of the Lord your God, that it may be there for a witness against thee.
All right. So remember, I put it in the side of the ark. How you do that? Yeah. Take this book of the law and put it in the side of the ark of the covenant of the Lord.
This is the case where it is the ark that we built in such a way where looking upon it will bring back remembrance.
No, we're on the ark, the book of the law. It said, take it and put it in the side of the ark. The ark of the covenant was like a box. They could take the top off and go inside of it. So it was used to store these things. So, but you see what it is right. You don't say take this book and put it inside the ark of the covenant. You know? Put it in the side of the ark.
It's a language.
Yes, language. But it means put it inside the ark of the covenant. Right. So, well, you have to remember that the Bible was also translated with Old English. So trust me, when we return again and go back in that wilderness, we are going to find it because in the time of Jeremiah, it was almost I allowed Jeremiah to hide it, hide the Ark of the Covenant. Where are we now? Verse 26.
Verse 27. For I know thy rebellion and thy stiff neck. Behold, while I am yet alive with you this day, Ye have been rebellious against the Lord, and how much more after my death?
Right. I mean, I know and you so rebellious. What when me gone? You understand? So I'm going to give you this song so that you can remember you and your children and your children's children. But even though it is written in the Bible, we can't sing it. Nobody make it a song again. Continue.
Verse 28. Gather unto me all the elders of your tribes and your officers, that I may speak these words in their ears, and call heaven and earth to record against them.
Mm-hmm.
For I know that after my death ye will utterly corrupt yourselves, and turn aside from the way which I have commanded you. And evil will befall you in the latter days, because ye will do evil in the sight of the Lord, to provoke him to anger through the work of your hands. And Moses spake in the ears of all the congregation of Israel the words of this song until they were ended.
All right. So Musa realized we spent approximately 4 years in Egypt. And that Egypt, you know, the Ammites. The Ammites are the father, is the father of idolatry, you know. Mm-hmm. All them gods that you see, they have no, came through the Ammites. The first one, Babylon, the Christmas tree and so on. Where that come from? Nimrod. Nimrod was a what? Ethiopian. First man to physically make a city in rebellion against the Most High. And then there was Egypt. Egypt of many gods. Ishtar originally came from Egypt. Name changes down the line. The white men pick up on these gods when Alexander went into Egypt. Alexander the Grecian went into Egypt. And until this day, so you still celebrate Easter, you still celebrate Christmas, still celebrate. Well, Thanksgiving came about after that. They don't really have a God of Thanksgiving, right? God of love, God of this, God of that, Saturnalia, all this and all that. Worshipping of Saturn, worshipping of the sun, all came from Egypt. Hmm? Until this day. The Hamites. And if you remember Esau and Jacob, Esau took the Amite woman to wife against his parents' wish. Jacob took Hebrew, but they went to Ham. He went to Ham. We stick to Shem, for Shemite women, right? So the one that was a Syrian was a Hebrew, but Esau went to Ham, and until this day, they have the gods of the Hamites plaguing us with it. All right, go to Deuteronomy 32 now.
Deuteronomy chapter 32. Give ear, O ye heavens, and I will speak, and hear, O earth, the words of my mouth. Verse 2. My doctrine shall drop as the rain, my speech shall be still as the dew, as a small rain upon the tender herb, and as the shower upon the grass. Verse 3. Because I will publish the name of the Lord, ascribe ye greatness unto our God. He is the rock, his work is perfect, For all his ways are judgment, a God of truth and without iniquity. Just and right is he. They have corrupted themselves. Their spot is not the spot of his children. They are a perverse and crooked generation. Do ye thus requite the Lord, O foolish people and unwise?
Yeah, what verse is it from?
6. Is not this thy father that hath brought thee?
Is not he?
Is not he thy father that hath brought thee, as hath bought thee? Hath he not made thee and established thee? Remember the
Is the
days.
song this is reading?
Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will shew thee the elders, and they will tell thee. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of children of Israel. For the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. He found him in a desert land, and in the waste howling wilderness. He led him about, he instructed him. He kept him as the apple of his eye. Verse 11. As an eagle stirreth up her nest, fluttereth over her young, spreadeth abroad her wings, taketh them, beareth them on her wings. So the Lord alone did lead him, and there was no strange God with him.
All right. So Moses using the song to put all this in the song now to remind the people of all the things that the Most High has done for you. In the same way that the eagle take care of the young and put the young on the wings and give him a flight. Same way the Most High do for you. But until this day where I can understand what is it about the other nations we so love. Why we love this bling bling thing? They always use catching. Yeah. Flashy car and thing. Who make them? We don't make any car as Israelites. And top designer clothes that we love to go after. Just like
the Bible made reference of us being like sheep. Sheep, if not guided, will go astray. The same way Israel easily goes astray.
yes, but why?
But why?
That is my question. Why?
Your answer tell me.
Why we whatever the others I tell you. Why is it that we look at her? Look at our women. Even though in all respect and thing, our women are nice when them out closing. And so they open them out. None of mercy. Man, like you go on your fat, you say something nice and you go trouble it, and then when you find out what it really is, it's like, Lord, I want to leave. You get me?
Gotcha.
But our men not knowing that these other women are even worse. Look at the story of Jezebel. Jezebel was a black woman, black skinned woman. She was an African. She was a Hamite, one Hamite princess. The Israelite king for another kingdom went and married her. Trust me, no Israelite woman wouldn't do behave them way there. She imposed her God on the people. Marry her and make her queen. You see, when we go as individuals go and take up the other nation women. They impose their culture on you. But our women, we behave all the while like our women are saints. They are not. They have also been affected by the oppressor. They are not affected. That's what they're saying. They shake your head. What that mean? Anyways, our women have also been affected by the oppressor. So they bring those bad ways the oppressor taught them, or the system teach them, bring it in their relationship. So rather than being that quiet mouth woman, they speak up on every single thing that the oppressor tell them. You don't sit down and take this. You don't sit down and take that. While their women take crap from them, they teach their women to take crap. But they can tell him you not to take crap from a man when it's not the man giving a crap. It's the very same system that they use to oppress the man to give you crap. I was reading a story about this Israelite man, black man, Jake, in the States, came up rough, came up in juvenile detention. From the juvenile school, he learned how to type. He got a job as a typist until somebody framed him at the place he was working, and he lost his job. While he was working, he had his wife and 2 kids. They were going on fine until he lost his job. The relationship went downhill. Obviously, he couldn't get another job. But if we had our own kingdom, he wouldn't be looking a job. He would be creating. He would have been the creator in the kingdom. And by creator, I mean he creates opportunities. So he wouldn't be job hunting. Yeah, you ever see a Chinaman come to Jamaica and walk around and look job? I never see that. You see a Chinaman one time I do flat foot hustling. You start watching. I said, you know, so the man I must be spy. Because what I know is that another Chinaman will help him do any business he wants to do. So if he flat foot hustling, he must be scouting out the place. You get me? But these people teach our women and our men to hate each other. And it comes out. Can't have a relationship. So in the same way we can have a relationship with the Most High, is the same way we can have a relationship with our women. And by that, you can have a level-headed, you do have level-headed children. That's why our nation is so. No, there's no nation that builds without the proper union of the mother and the father. None. So even though Esau want to push homosexuality on us, in his kingdom, he knows that the stability of his kingdom comes from the man and the woman. Then bring forth the children. And if that children is not level-headed, what will happen? Society will go downhill. All right, continue.
Verse 13. He made him ride on the high places of the earth, and he might eat the increase of the fields, and he made him to suck honey out of the rock, and oil out of the flinty rock, butter of kine and milk of sheep, with fat of lambs and rams of the breed of Bashan, and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of the wheat, and thou dost drink the pure blood of the grapes, of the grape. And
Yeah, grape don't have blood, so I mean by pure blood of the grape. No, this is grape juice undiluted. You squeeze the grape and you get it 100% juice. Well, it doesn't have to be freshly picked, but it's juice that comes undiluted, not like the one that you're going to get now. And you say, grape juice, when you buy it, when you look, it tell you 50% juice or 60% juice, right? So this is the blood of the grape, 100% juice. You have so many grapes that you can squeeze it and just drink the juice. Kind of like what we can do with oranges out here. Continue.
Verse 15. But Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked. Thou art waxen fat. Thou art grown thick. Thou art covered with fatness. When he forsook God, then he forsook God which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation. They provoked him to jealousy with strange gods. With admonitions provoked they him to anger. They sacrificed unto devils and not to God, to gods whom they knew not, to new gods that came newly up, whom your fathers feared not. Of the rock that begat thee.
All right. You see, this tell about gods that came newly up. You see, after coming this side here, the Gadites. Who are the Gadites again? The natives. Man, they have so many gods. The northern kingdom that came around here, the Mayans and the Incas. So much so that they went into human sacrifice. There was one famous one that they have, what do they call him? Which was like a snake. What's the name the Mayans call him again? You got the Mayans and the Incas. Check none of that. And then when things going bad like that, you don't have a good crop, and then so you have to appease the god. Then you used to appease him. Human sacrifice. Then do human sacrifice. Catch you alive, put you upon the altar. While you are alive, cut the heart out. Take out the heart. Hold the heart in your hand while it's still pumping. Can you imagine? That's how far in darkness we had gone as people. But we weren't doing this while we were in the wilderness, nor in the land. There was this practice of making the children pass through the fire, but after human sacrifice, we kill man on altar, run out the blood. They had God of the wind, God of the sun, God of fire, God of the volcano. It's like 365 days. Probably that was the amount of God there. So rather than saying today is Wednesday, they bring forth the God for this new day. So each day they bring a different God, different name. And so far in darkness we had gone. Continue.
Verse 18, of the rock that begot thee, thou art mindful, thou art unmindful, and hast forgotten God that formed thee. And when the Lord saw it, he abhorred them because of the provoking of his sons and of his daughters. And he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end shall be, for they are a very froward generation, children in whom is no faith.
Well, here is the end of what we had become. So much so that if the Most High don't come to save us, you never get out of this one. And regardless of how much crying and screaming we're doing, this is how the Most High hide his face from you. One, we don't even know we're Israelites, so we don't even know the way to get back to the Most High. Yes, we come to the realization that there is a creator God, but we don't know how to get back to him. Had it not been for the I.S.U.P.K, we would be still be in shambles. Well, worse shambles than we are in, because at least there's hope now. Still in shambles, but at least there is hope now. The U.P.K is now poised to grow and lift the nation out of the state that it is in. Thanks to Commander General YAHANNA. Right? So, what the Moses is saying he right here from Moses' time, and I will see what the end shall be. It's talking about this is the end that has become of us. God himself will come save you from this one. Can't save yourself. Continue.
Verse 21, they have moved me to jealousy with that which is not God.
Right, so these are idols we use to get him jealous. You have the wooden cross. You're bowing yourself to the wooden cross. You're bowing yourself to the cover stone. These don't have any power. But you get the Most High jealous with it. Continue.
They have provoked me to anger with their vanities.
Judah.
And I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation.
Hello. Open this door for me. So, we are moving to jealousy with that which is not God. So, what is revenge on us? All right, watch me here. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities, and I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation. And who is that foolish nation? Right, because these are take your identity. But even though the Most High call them a foolish nation, you know. Why is he a foolish nation? Because you take a next nation identity, put on yourself, and live in that man's life. It's like nowadays when they talk about, it's them identity theft come from, you know. A man take a next man birth paper, get him name, and living in his life. Identity theft began with Esau. Now, but the Most High say foolish nation. Well, the Most High can call him a foolish nation, but trust me, the foolish nation that he is have us in bondage. So much so is only God can save me from this one. So we can call the white man as much fool as we want to call him. It's only God can pull me out of it, out of the white man's folly. True or false? Yeah, only the Most High can pull us from out of the white man's folly. So as foolish as he is, oh man, let it see, it get warm. As foolish as he is, we can't get out of his folly. Continue.
For a fire is kindled in my anger, and shall burn unto the lowest head, and shall consume the earth with her increase, and set on fire the foundations of the mountains. I will heap mischiefs upon them, I will spend mine arrows upon them. They shall be burned with hunger, and devoured with burning heat, and with bitter destruction. I will also send the teeth of beasts upon them, with the poison of serpents of the dust.
So what is one of the mischief? I will eat mischiefs upon them. What is one such mischief that is upon us today? All right. One, take for instance in the States. Go the cops handle the name Judah in the States. That's mischief, you know. Look how much black men they send to prison. Innocent black men. That's mischief. Created mischief. But the Most High said he is going to eat mischief on us. God, the Gadites with their land. The man just come take with them land. All them captain in their own land. So much so that they say one just since week, I think, last week, this Indian that was on their own sacred land and being tased for being there. But you know, when I saw it, is one thing came to my mind, you know. I said, oh, you see, most I want to get you out of idolatry. So much so that if I send Esau to come tease you not to go into that land to pray to gods. And look at where still, you know. Yeah. But the most I don't want them doing these things. And us here in Jamaica, what's about the mischief you have now? You out here, you work, you were the slaves for this land. Another nation come and reap who wasn't even here when slavery was going on. Come and reaping the fruits of this land and of our people, eh? Mischief. Sell out all our beach. Can't even get a beach. What a few public beaches you have lived. Same thing with the marijuana. Look how much our people die in prison, die otherwise. I mean, marijuana smoking is wrong, you know? That's why I don't really talk much about it. But the business side of it. Yeah. You run Mushet quarrel all the while and say, is the beer drinker, the rum drinker, them can own the ganja field them now. After the little man suffer so much. You think I like a lock up, ganja man get locked up, I think we reaping the benefit now. But it is the work of the Most High, mischief. And he said, he will eat mischief on us. Continue.
Verse 25, the sword without and terror within shall destroy both the young man and the virgin, the suckling also with the man of gray hair.
All right, the sword without, the terror within. That's it. Sword is what now? Gun. And terror within your circle, terror within your nation. How many people in the ghetto can really trust the people and what they live with? Don't trust them one another. Terror within, man, shall destroy both the young man and the virgin, and even the baby and the old man. 26.
Verse 26, I said, I would scatter them into corners. I would make the remembrance of them to cease from among men.
Just like now.
Were it not that I feared the wrath of the enemy, lest their adversaries should behave themselves strangely, and lest they should say, our hand is high, and the Lord hath not done it, hath not done all this. For they are a nation void of counsel, neither is there any understanding in them. Oh, that they were wise, that they understood this, that they would consider their latter end. How should one chase 1,000, and two put 10,000 to flight, except their rock had sold them, and the Lord hath shut them up?
All right. So even that, the Most High say, even that, one of you are chase 1,000 men. You know, she say, the Most High do this one. And two of you have put 10,000 to flight. Can't you see that this is the work of the Most High? Continue.
For their rock is not as our rock, even our enemies themselves being judges. And their vine is of the vine of Sodom, and of the fields of Gomorrah. Their grapes are grapes of gall, their clusters are bitter. Their wine is a poison of dragons, and the cruel venom of asps.
Like a wasp, you know. Wasp. I thought about the asps.
Is not this laid up in their store with me, and sealed up among my treasures? Verse 35, to me belongeth vengeance and recompense. Their foot shall slide in due time, for the day of their calamity is at hand, and the things that shall come upon them make haste.
When the Most High say make haste, I mean it take approximately 4,000 years to happen. That's like 4 days in the sight of the Most High, don't it? 4,000 years, that's like 4 days in God's sight. So even less than a week, eh? And we fall. Continue.
For the Lord shall judge his people, and repent himself for his servants.
Repent.
And repent himself for his servants, when he seeth that their power is gone, and there is none shut up or left. And he shall say, Where are their gods? Their rock is in whom they trusted, which did eat the fat of their sacrifices, and drank the wine of their drink offerings. Let them rise up and help you, and be your protection.
This is like, problem I can't talk about it. The idol they would use to worship, like they put up. Don't call me. Can you imagine? Make them. So why you calling me? You used to go and worship Molech and Ishtar. Call them. And Saturn. Don't call me, call them. They are the ones you give your fat of your ram and give all your labors and give all your things to. Call them, don't call me. Continue.
Verse 39, see now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive, I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. For I lift up my hand to heaven and say, I live forever. If I wet my glittering sword, and my hand take hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to mine enemies, and will reward them that hate me. I will make my arrows. drunk with blood, and my sword shall devour flesh, and that with the blood of the slain and of the captives, from the beginning of revenges upon the enemy. Rejoice, O ye nations, with his people, for he will avenge the blood of his servants, and will render vengeance to his adversaries, and will be merciful unto his land and to his people. And Moses came and spake all the words of this song in the ears of the people, he and Hoshea, the son of Nun.
Hoshea, that's Joshua now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so Hosea, Joshua again. And Moses made an end. So all those things that you were reading, song, but nice to put it to a rhythm. But you know why? How we recognize song today? Chorus. Them song they don't carry chorus. But nice to put. Sorry. But nice to put back those words into a song today. Verse where you left? 40?
45.
45. Okay, and Moses.
And Moses made an end of speaking all these words to all Israel. And he said unto them, set your hearts unto all the words of which I testify among you this day, which ye shall command your children to observe to do, all the words of this law. For if it is not a vain thing,
for it
is not a vain thing for you, because it is your life, and through this thing ye shall prolong your days in the land, whither ye go over Jordan to possess it.
Right. So that land is a strange land. You do commit evil in that land, it's going to spew you out. Whether you be you know much nation gets spewed out after we. Last one down there now, them fake Jews, fake Israelites. They're gonna get spewed out just the same. All right, any question on that?
No,
All right, move to 48.
Verse 48. And the Lord spake unto Moses that selfsame day, saying, get thee up into this mountain, the Abiram, unto Mount Nebo, which is the land of Moab, that is over against Jericho.
All right, Moab, that's the Chinese. That's where the Chinese was. Chinese was down there too, when they were black. And behold,
the land of Canaan, which I give unto the children of Israel for a possession. And die in the mount whither thou goest up, and go gathered, and be gathered unto thy people, as Aaron thy brother died in Mount Hor, and was gathered unto his people, because he trespassed against me among the children of Israel, at the waters of Meribah, Kadesh, in the wilderness of Zin, because he sanctified me not in the midst of the children of Israel.
So he was supposed to give the credit to the Most High. And took credit for himself because of vexation. Even though when nigga turn them out against you, hot, that's what catch Moses, hot wood. They start telling Moses hot wood and make some, nowadays they say some disparaging remarks. Making some disparaging remarks against Moses. Moses wicked, and Moses can't But him a lead. He can lead. All in do a carry, so you can't come down, so carry come down and become dead for thirst. All those words went back to Moses. Moses got so vexed. Moses wanted them. Strike the rock and said, drink, you sinful nation. Which in a way he was supposed to, be theatrical as he was. Behold, Israel, the Lord will give you water. And speak to the rock and make your rock walk. But he let the words get to him, man. So you're tried by the people as a leader as well, too. Trust me. And test your faith. Where are we now? Okay, yeah.
Yet thou
We're
shalt,
gonna close with that.
yet thou shalt see the land before thee, but thou shalt not go thither unto the land which I gave the children of Israel.
So Moses see it, but didn't set foot in it. So Moses saw the promised land, but didn't set foot in the promised land. All right, so questions or comment? All right, we'll just say the Lord's Prayer and then we'll close with that. With that, we say Amarjum, which means to stand. Let's stand and face the east. So the Lord's Prayer. Lord's Prayer in ancient Hebrew. Where is it? Abanawa, Shabashamayim, Kodash, Haya, Shankar, Yahawa, Malakwatha, Kaba'a, Ratazaka, Aya, Aisha, Barataza, Kawa, Aya, Bashamaya, Nathan, Lanawa, Lakan, Khan, Yawam, Wasalak Lanawa, Kawabwat now. Kasalat now. Kawabwatia now. Walaha. Tawaya now. Vanasaya. Abba. Awashay now. Maya. Rai. Kaya. Laka. Amalakwa. Wahahara. Wahatapara. Laima. Amen. In English, Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be. Yadamata, which means I'm down. Class dismissed. I'm free. Wrap it up. Oh, one word is salute to the teacher. Third up here is the teacher. Amajum Shabbat. Amajum Barak. Yabashim Yoshai Barakatom. Courteous salute to the sisters. Sister stand. And scope right and over the left in this position. Head slightly above, foot into V. Amajum Shabbat. Amajum Barak. Yahweh Shema Alatan Basham Yavashai.
Yahweh Shema Alatan Basham Yavashai.
Yadabata, hands down, class dismissed.
Finally, we're free. Back every time we want.
All right, then I am free.
Mm.